Let's go ahead and begin with a round of questions. I have noted in my opening statement, I was reaffirmed by Senator Manchin as well as Senator Gardner that in terms of qualifications, experience within the Interior Department, you really come to us with a set of qualifications and, again, experience that we really seldom see. I think it's unparalleled in terms of the time and the extent of your background in these areas. So I would begin my questions then with something that is not related to the experience, but maybe experience outside of the time that you worked within the department. You are not the first nominee who has worked somewhere else in the past and has had recusals as a result, but for whatever reason, you seem to have outside groups working harder against your nomination than most anybody else we've had in front of us. I'm sure we'll hear some discussion about that today. So at the outset, I will ask you how you handle or how you will handle ethics and potential conflicts both for yourself and for the department.
Thank you for that question. I believe that public trust is a public responsibility, and that maintaining an ethical culture is critical. On a personal level, I have fully complied with my ethics agreement, the ethics laws, and my ethics pledge, and I will do so in the future. I have actively sought and consulted with the department's designated ethics officials for advice on particular matters involving clients, and I have implemented an incredibly robust screening process to ensure that I don't meet with former firm or former clients to participate in particular matters involving specific parties that I've committed to recuse myself from. I believe that it's also important to recognize the department's ethics responsibilities and role. The department's ethics program for years has been subject to a great deal of criticism, a great deal of oversight, and a lack of funding. If you look back at old reports, you'll see that the Inspector General and the Ethics Office both asked for additional resources and didn't get them over the last several years. Here's the steps that we have taken. We have elevated the designated agency ethics official back up to directly reporting to the solicitor, the third-ranking person in the department. That was something that Earl Devaney recommended in the mid-2000s that I implemented that somehow got de-elevated in the prior administration. We have hired extremely good leaders to come in and help lead a new ethics department. And as of today, we have hired 42 counselors within the department. And if you want to know what our problems really look like at Interior and the challenges we face in ethics, I would suggest that you read the recent Inspector General's report on philanthropy of the Park Service that was just out, or the strategic plan that the IG put out. She acknowledges in there that we are making tremendous efforts and strides in creating a better and more robust program. I know how important and how devastating it is when folks at the top act in an unethical manner. It affects the department across the board. And we have implemented a number of things to begin to change that pathway, and I'm going to need your help to actually consolidate the ethics programs across the bureaus.
Well, thank you for that, Mr. Bernhardt. I think you will find that on this committee we have had more occasions, unfortunately, than we would like to raise the issue of what is happening within the workplace in terms of misconduct and ethics issues. And as you point out, the impact then to the agency in terms of the morale, just the working environment, it must be addressed. National Park Service is unfortunately the agency that time and time again comes forward as an area that has to be addressed. And so whether it is sexual misconduct, major ethical violations, knowing that you are shining a very serious spotlight on this is critically, critically important.